over here, sir. Boxing used to look different. Remember? Right? Why do they stand like this in the pictures? Right? Why did they go like this in the cartoons and stuff, eh? Because they used to box a little different. And we know from research they like to punch the sides of the jaw where there's muscles. And later a guy invented biting a piece of wood or whatever. Okay? So if you want to talk about Wing Chun Chinese boxing, it has to be that other boxing, the older bare knuckle, 80 rounds of teeth knocking nonsense, right? So, Western boxing is a different thing with the bigger gloves and an evolved set of successful methods in the ring with those rules. All right, Isaiah, put your boxing guard up, left, right. So, if you take your classic boxer, he's got a left that can protrude and keep me away, and I can try to move around it or whatever. Thank you, Isaiah. And then we're going to be a little more in the Dempsey style, where we're going to lean back a little bit and have the elbow down, because when they did World Take All Comers, people would come down and try to throw them, right? So you might try to step and throw somebody. Thank you, Isaiah. In the old-fashioned style of boxing, you could throw people down to take a break, right? So if they were doing what we do today, Isaiah, like that, right? They were doing today, it's much easier to get a throw. And if they're doing punches with the higher elbow, it's much easier to get a throw, right? So back then, they hung out down here, right? So I can't step in and do a throw. Now, the jab from the bare knuckle boxing, like from right here, if Isaiah just extends his fist, straightens it into vertical, and then steps a little bit, right? That's a devastating blow from right there. Bop! Thank you, Isaiah. We're good actors, yeah? So if he does it again, and I avoid it, and he has another one right there, yep, right? And then vertical it though. There we go. If I don't lean back, my head does. So, right, that, plus another one, that's WT Wing Chun. And I think it's probably what Jing Ai and some of these other Chinese martial arts have gone on to. Here's your regular 1800s boxer. So I need to get inside here with my punches. Right? There's plenty of information on why the vertical fist versus horizontal when you're not gloved. All right, thank you, Isaiah. Back to our WT style. So with fists, chain punching. And then from a boxing idea, I'm going to be trying to get the guy out of the way and get something through a hole right in there, right? So I'm going to be the giveaway for Isaiah to do it. So if the guy gives themselves away, there's our hit, right? But if the guy goes like this, right, maybe there's a chance. You see a lot of old-fashioned photos of people like this. You see the losers like this or something, right? Thank you, Isaiah. Now, I can try to just use my jab, and then if I could get Isaiah to turn, I have a hole right there. And I might raise my elbow up to go over that hole. And that whole video series on that, so I'm going to move on now. Isaiah's going to stick with his line, which is right in here. Right, just some chain punching at me so we can show him you're a winner, Isaiah. So he's got this thing going on, right? Thank you. Big old brake noise out there. That's a motorcycle. Must be true when noises interrupt me. If I got over his lower hand, there's an indoor Paxow moment. Yeah. But most of the time, it's going to be outdoor, so we don't try to reach for indoor Paxows, but they happen. Now, here's this point I want to make. This blind side concept is because I have turned my other hand away. I've blinded this hand, and that makes him safe, right? So if I go like this, and his chain punches are coming up here, right? And then maybe lock me. Yeah, that was good. Like, yes. So this arm has been blinded, yes? Because my my tangential line to my shoulders, which is called my personal center line, has been turned away by my action relative to him. Yes. Now, both of his weapons are never blinded. If we go this way, right, chain punch, Isaiah. You just do chain punches, right? So bam, bam, chain punches. I've lost this arm. I bring it in. Okay. We're not talking about if both arms lose, because now our adversaries have an idea that they're gonna step to our blind side. But look what happens. If this is Isaiah chain punching, and let's just say I'm successful, so he's gonna be right behind me as I step, right? As I anticipate and try to step, I'm blinding my own hand, right? And I get to here, yeah, just stay like that. I never blinded him for a minute, and I blinded myself. Now just let's do what they do, Isaiah. So get that foot back. Yeah, so as this hand comes up and I step over here to do something, I've blinded my side. Maybe I blinded him. So it's totally backwards from the Wing Chun parlance. That's not efficient or different than anyone else in the world teaches, right? But if his punch comes up, this is one, and I wedge it, I've started to turn him to a blind side with my shape. And he cooperated, thank you, right? So I have blinded him. And then I could pin him really good because I forced him to cross, yeah? Mine are still good. That's efficient. I'm not giving him away a side to gain a side. Okay? Thank you, Isaiah. Now, with boxing, in self-defense, with this stuff, it's not going to be chain punches. It's going to be 3 or 5 punches and a kick and some sort of something, right? So it's going to be his left jab, and then if that doesn't work, the elbow comes down and controls the guy with something, like we do, and the right comes up, pop, yeah. And if I catch that, something, and then sweep the leg or something like that, right? Bam, and that's a self-defense motif. So we train with lots of chain punches to keep our muscle memory working on orienting. I'm going to move all around as I get your knees in a little better. He's working on his tension from his spine through his hips. Now, if I get in here and give Isaiah a little extra power, yeah. And he's going to, where's your elbow? Right here, yeah. Reps, lots of muscle memory, lots of this moment over and over and over, right? Lots of that first moment. So now I'll do it more like I'm a bad guy and I'll throw punches, and he won that one. Okay, try another time. And he won that one. Okay, try this. He won that one. All right, and he won that one. And he won that one again. Now I'm going to really try hard, and it's getting dangerous, and I can't talk. We call that an application drill. Let me talk about that in a minute. But there was several gaps in there. And for 2 reasons, those are not good. The first reason is it wastes time. That's time we could just be chain punching under load, right? Waste time. And then the second reason is every time there's a gap, there's a risk of a full speed contact. If I use the parlance of today's popular cinema, there's a shortening of the way, I get hit. So if I accidentally shorten the way, and he doesn't know it because we're going this fast, right? And I try to break contact, very risky. So we do those in another setting. And this guy's a tech, so we can trust him to stop on contact, right? Wooden dummy teaches it. So right over here again, application drills need to be talked about too. Really quickly. So you have your forms. Those include partner forms. So if I teach Chi Sao, that's a partner form. We call it wound Sao or shape changing form. And then when we do it alive, it's shape fighting, not sparring. Okay. And then we have applications, which are like what it is if we're totally successful, the kung fu movie stuff. So let's say Isaiah comes up with a punch and I grab it and I lock his arm and I'm successful in throwing him off balance. No, look at this Wing Chun. That's not an application. He turns away from me and I kick him in the face, right? And then I get to take over here and pull his head back and pin his knee and smack him or something. I just made all that up standing here, right? But that was fun. Isaiah. I get to go, whah, bam, whah, bam, bam. And he would have to wear gear because if it's an application drill, I'm applying all of that explosiveness. I'm stopping it. Trying to hurt him, but okay. And he is cooperating and being the victim, right? And then we'll escalate. So then he would start to fight back a little bit right here, and I would go to the next one. And then, no, you don't get to win, Isaiah. You're too good. Right? He would fight back one time, and then I would catch him again. It's a thing we do. We don't put it on video because it's part of our secrets. But the point is, there's a higher risk, so it has to be done in a perfect way. And then it wastes time because in applications, only one person is getting to be really good. The other guy, in this case Isaiah, had to do something wrong. Let's see. So let's look at some applications real quick, Isaiah. From Chi Sao. The third thing is Chi Sao, if that wasn't clear earlier. Form, Chi Sao, application. So if I do Chi Sao, all right, what do we have? We've got Hoon with an H, Hoon Sao. I've got palm strike to the chin. All right, I've got this claw move like this. What do we call that idea? A claw. The famous move from the start of Mortal Kombat and the end of the Matrix Run. Alright, so I go for this, I go for this, right? Bop. So the application is Isaiah throws a jab in my face and I come in here and I slam into him. As an example of an application drill. Right? So the Chi Sao is this really complicated thing from Poon Sao. Get your knees in, Isaiah. And I have to do this arm lock and step in and defend myself. And Isaiah's getting frisky with me, so I'll get frisky with him too. Thank you. All right, so I go like this, and I come in, and he defends himself. Right? That's fine. So most of the time, it looks like that, over and over and over. That's the muscle memory. But then we chain punch in the air an equal number of times on our own. We chain punch the heavy bag for the concussion into our bodies at our own house. We have a hanging heavy bag. So maybe 5 times as much stuff should be done by me on my own time with on bags and in the air. And then when I'm with my partner, I want to be doing this. Okay? I go for the attack. He beats it. I have to deal with his counterattack. He has to deal with mine. I want reps of this. And then we'll get some gear on, mostly for him, but we're simulating here. Back up a little bit, Isaiah, and then he backs up into stance because it's application. So he's out there, right? And then I see that jab coming, right? So then I step in and try to beat it. Oh, I did not beat it. I got caught right here. All right, throw more, and then now I got a little better, right? And then add some stuff to it. So that one, Isaiah, right? Wow, oh, I caught his rear hand. Reps of those. This is important, I think, for you to understand WT, why it's better than WC. So Chi Sao has that flaw that we're stuck together to increase the load and high reps. So application is supposed to be this bridge between, so over here. This is a heavy bag. Pretty sure Sifu Philip Redmond sent me this bag in the mail years ago. So, you know, you can hit this thing. It doesn't go anywhere, right? So I could do pull and hit, right? So, right? So I could do this. I used to do this for hours on end, right? The wall's not going to knock this whole garage over, right? And then Isaiah comes at me and he throws that punch and bop! I don't know if that's on camera. Get over here, right? He throws that punch at me. Oh, I was on top that time. So it's coming right at my chin, right? And so I go underneath, and that's the application. So I'm banging on this thing, and then with Chi-Sowing with Isaiah, a lot. And the place in the middle is an application drill where he's over here, and I know which one it is, so we can get that angle just right. And he knows I'm going to stop on his chest, maybe, the chest pad. Or I have a glove, and he has a helmet. Or he might have his hand up, right? And then he goes, and I get his hand by his chin. Application. To bridge that gap. You want to try some, Isaiah? I don't need it. So, it's kind of a running joke.